welcome to the Deep Dive. Okay, it's June 21st, 2025, and things have really escalated in the Middle East. A dramatic, very unsettling development. It feels like a pretty pivotal moment, one we really need to dig into. We've got this news report right here titled, U.S. Airstrikes on Iran's Nuclear Facilities, Escalation and Fallout. So, our goal today, really, is to get you past just the headlines. We want to pull out the key insights, the crucial details, straight from this source.
Exactly, and it's a fact-based report focused squarely on these latest U.S. airstrikes. What's fascinating, I think, isn't just the strikes themselves, but digging into the why, the immediate effects, and why this whole thing matters so much right now.
Okay, let's unpack it then. What does the report actually say happened? The core event, and which specific nuclear sites were hit?
Right, so the report lays out that the U.S. Air Force carried out these coordinated airstrikes today, June 21st. They hit 3 key Iranian nuclear facilities, specifically the Fordow fuel enrichment plant. That's the one famously buried deep inside a mountain.
Okay, Fordow.
Then there's the Natanz nuclear site. That's Iran's largest, probably most important uranium enrichment center. And finally, a third site. It's described as undisclosed near Isfahan. The thinking is it's involved in centrifuge testing, maybe missile research and development.
3 very significant targets. What was the immediate reaction from the U.S. side, according to this report? Did President Trump comment?
Yes, the report quotes President Trump directly. He confirmed the strikes this morning. He called the operation decisive, measured, and successful. He also added, all planes are safely on their way home. We acted for global security, and now is the time for peace.
Decisive, measured, and successful.
Okay.
And the stated goals, the Pentagon sources mentioned in the report.
They frame it as part of a, quote, joint intelligence sharing operation between the U.S. and Israel.
Involving Israel.
That's what the sources indicate. And the aim was, again, quoting, significantly disrupting Iran's nuclear advancement.
Okay, so disruption. How did they actually pull it off? Does the report give details on the sort of mechanics of the operation?
It does offer some interesting specifics. It talks about using 12 stealth B-2 Spirit bombers.
12 B-2s, wow.
Yeah, along with support aircraft. Apparently launched from U.S. bases in Qatar and also Diego Garcia. And here's a key bit. The report states that Iranian radar and their air defense systems were effectively blinded.
Blinded how?
Using electronic jamming techniques before the missiles were launched, basically paving the way for the strike package.
That electronic jamming sounds crucial. So after this precision strike, what about the damage? What does the report say about the immediate fallout on the ground?
The initial assessments paint a picture of, well, a significant blow to Iran's program, at least for now. At Natanz, they estimate a 40 to 60% loss in operational capacity.
40 to 60%, that's substantial.
It really is. It mentions multiple advanced centrifuges destroyed the IR-6 and IR-8 models. At Fordow, there were reports of secondary explosions, possibly linked to power system failures caused by the strikes. And there's a human cost mentioned, too. At least 8 Iranian Revolutionary Guard personnel reported killed and dozens injured.
Now, it's worth noting, Iranian state media tried to downplay the damage.
As you'd expect.
Right. But the report points to satellite images from independent sources, like Maxar Technologies. And those images apparently confirm significant infrastructure damage at all 3 sites. So the visual evidence seems pretty clear.
Okay, so significant damage confirmed independently. An action like this obviously sends shockwaves. How did the world react? What does the report say about international responses?
Reactions came fast, and they were pretty varied. The UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, immediately called for maximum restraint. He explicitly warned that any more escalation could spark a full-blown regional war.
Serious warning. What about Iran itself?
Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, held an emergency session. He vowed a, quote, proportionate and punishing response. And notably, he didn't just threaten U.S. interests, but also Israeli and other allied bases in the region.
So broadening the potential targets.
Yeah.
And Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu praised the strike, called it a milestone in the global fight against nuclear blackmail. Now, Israel hasn't officially confirmed any direct role. But the report cites military analysts who suggest Israeli F-35 jets might have actually escorted the U.S. bombers over Iraqi airspace. Adds another layer, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Yeah.
Okay, beyond the immediate military and diplomatic back and forth, this is where it often gets really interesting for everyone listening.